And we now move to Tesla, and oops, he's done it again. CEO Elon Musk told Leslie Stahl of 60 Minutes he does not respect the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC. He doesn't respect them. As you may recall, the SEC fined Mr. Musk $20 million and fined Tesla, the company, $20 million for Mr. Musk's tweets, which gave false market signals about the possibility of Tesla going private. Mr. Musk was also required to step down as chairman of the Tesla board. Here for more Tesla and other auto news is the car coach, Lauren Fix, who joins us from San Diego. Hey, Lauren, thank you for being with us. What do you make of the newest episode of How to Sabotage Your Company All by Yourself?
Well, I think he's doing a good job of sabotaging himself. I think at some point, either the SEC is totally spineless, or they're going to wake up and say, wait a minute, this guy is really not paying attention. I mean, he puts out some of the wildest tweets, and his followers, they buy stock, they sell stock. It's, you know, it's so volatile, I wouldn't even get involved in the stock for that. But the fact that he's basically disrespecting the SEC, I hope they come back and they set an example of him, because that is not a good example to set for the rest of us.
Yeah, and that's not how you want to treat regulators. How is Tesla, the company, doing overall at this point? I know you're not a big fan, but have they made any improvements, their production, et cetera, Lauren?
Well, right now, you know, he's producing vehicles, and the fact is, if you go online and look, there's something called Shorty Air Force Base. You can look that up, and that is an Air Force Base that is an old airport, that he is parking cars, and they're stacked up there. So when he's saying he's producing these vehicles in mass quantities, we produce 1,000 a day or whatever his number of the moment is, they park them, and they're actually all wrapped up. And there's people that have drone footage of it. So the fact is, he's producing cars that aren't being sold. So if you want to buy a Model 3 today, and not the stripped-out version, one that's loaded, that means $50,000 to $60,000, they're available. I think his big problem is going to be after the first of the year, when that $7,500 tax credit gets cut in half. Consumers are going to start looking at other products, such as the Jaguar I-Pace or the Audi e-tron, or, you know, maybe even a Nissan Leaf. There's other products out there you can get that $7,500 tax credit, or a Chevy Bolt EV, and you can get a vehicle that gets you into that, if you want to get into that electric car market segment. But the fact is, I don't know on the long haul what his situation is, and he just put out a tweet just recently, just before the show started, saying that he was thinking about eliminating that honorary chairman position that he currently holds. And you never know what, maybe he'll fly to Mars one way. You never. Yeah,
well, he does want to do that, right? But maybe there won't be connection. That'll help Tesla out. Hey, now, we talked about this last week, but this is a gift that doesn't stop giving. A Japanese court has rejected a complaint filed by former Nissan chairman Carlos Ghosn over determination to continue to hold him for an additional 10 days following his 3 weeks of detention. Tokyo prosecutors accused Mr. Ghosn of underreporting income from Nissan by about 5 billion yen. That's about 44 billion bucks U.S. Meanwhile, Mr. Ghosn in native Brazil, a court filing points to a treasure trove of art and cash hidden in his apartment, and authorities say they won it. Lauren, the story keeps getting more and more bizarre, doesn't it?
It is very bizarre. The fact is that this was part of a payout plan that he was supposed to get at year-end. It was a bonus for when he retired. So if he took his own money and purchased art, they can't secure that. What the real fact is, what we're finding from the insiders in the auto industry, is his goal was to replace the current Nissan CEO with somebody else. And that they didn't like. And so, remember, you can indict a ham sandwich. That doesn't mean that the ham sandwich is guilty. So in this case, they just keep putting out more statements that he's dishonest, that he's doing these things wrong, and until then, because their government runs differently than the U.S. government, they're holding him. So in the meantime, he did get permission to go into his apartment in Rio, because that's where he's from, in Brazil, and I'm sure someone's going to go and secure his artwork and his collectibles. They're his. However, Nissan says the reason that they don't want him in there is they're claiming he's hiding material information that would make him guilty. I don't know. It's starting to get really fishy. It sounds like a made-for-TV movie.
It is. We have one with the Elon Musk show. We have one with the Carlos Ghosn show. Lots going on in the auto industry. We sure appreciate you spending time with us, Lauren. That's Lauren Fix, the car coach. Thanks, Lauren. Take care.
Thanks, Bart.